ممكن تعرفنا عن حالك؟
طبعا اسمي أديب كنيس. أنا أصلي من فلسطين، مواليد هاي البلد، وهي بشتغل بشرطة باترسون.
اللي لفتني أنا بلباسك أو الزي الرسمي حاطط علم فلسطين، يعني كيف فيك تحكي لنا شوي يعني ليش حاطط العلم؟ فيدباك من الزملاء تبعك لما شافوا هالعلم؟
طبعا احنا بنمثل طبعا أصلنا، طبعا أهلي فلسطينية، أنا فلسطيني، بعشق بلدي كمان فلسطين.
That's the video of a uniformed police officer right here in the United States wearing a Palestinian Hamas flag patch on duty. Not next to the stars and stripes, but in place of it on his tack vest. And you think this is just cultural pride? You're wrong. That's Hamas branding. And this happened in Paterson, New Jersey, a city whose own mayor called it the capital of Palestine. Now, I want to be very clear here. This isn't about cultural heritage. This is about allegiance. And when that allegiance turns towards a U.S. designated terrorist group, while American Jews are being hunted and hostages are still in Gaza, that's not politics. That's war by infiltration. And what you're seeing here in Paterson isn't diversity. It's ideological occupation. So the patch worn in that video isn't a symbol of peace. It's not about identity. That patch is the official patch, which has become synonymous internationally with Hamas. That's not an identity patch. It's not a peace patch. That patch has become synonymous with Hamas, an internationally recognized terrorist organization. October 7th made it crystal clear those who waved that flag also waved gliders, machine guns, and GoPros taped to terrorists' helmets. And it represents a group that raped women in front of their children, that executed concert goers and burned entire families alive. And this officer, a sworn American peace officer, is representing that. If this were an ISIS flag, that cop would be in federal custody. But this, somehow it's getting a pass in the state of New Jersey. Now I want to talk about the mayor, Andrei Sayegh, who stood on a public stage during Ramadan and said that Paterson is the capital of Palestine. He smiled as they renamed part of Main Street to Palestine Way. That's right, you heard it correct. And at that event, flags everywhere, keffiyehs, political signs. And if you scan the social media accounts of many of that crowd, you're going to see pro-Hamas propaganda being shared the same week hostages were being tortured in tunnels. And this is a United States city, but it's flying foreign flags from government buildings, hosting rallies where chants include from the river to the sea, and giving safe harbor to open supporters of Palestinian resistance, to Hamas supporters. And that's the same resistance that left 40 babies in body bags last October. If this were a white nationalist town, the DOJ would have parachuted in already, but because it's wrapped in foreign nationalism, that entire state is frozen. So I want to talk about counterterrorism because here's what a lot of people don't understand. In counterterrorism, the symbols matter. It's about ideology. It matters. It's the crux. Because when push comes to shove, that patch tells me where those loyalties lie. And if you're in uniform, carrying a badge, carrying a gun, with a post certificate, and you're repping the flag of a terror group, that's not just wrong. In my opinion, it's operationally dangerous. This man has access to police databases. Hey, are you guys a fan of the Aaron Cohen Show? Do me a favor and help support the show and join my sponsorship team. Hit the link down in the description and grab yourself a mini sponsorship package. They start at $25. We're completely independently produced, and every package sold helps keep the lights on in the studio so I can continue to combat that garbage anti-Israel misinformation and propaganda that's out there while bringing you guys no-nonsense, cutting-edge analysis of counterterrorism, the Mideast, and national security. And in just 90 days, the Aaron Cohen Show is now the fastest growing counterterrorism and national security show online with over 100,000 subscribers in the first 90 days. And why? Because of you, the fans. Do me a favor, help support the show and join my sponsorship team. Hit the link down in the description and grab yourself a mini sponsorship package and help me to continue to fight that fight. Appreciate you guys. Department of Motor Vehicle records, thousands of them, and other specialized law enforcement databases. And how do we know this guy's going to pull the trigger if a Hamas-inspired lone wolf goes active in his jurisdiction? How do we know he's not going to leak intelligence to the wrong mosque, the wrong name, the wrong corner? And in my opinion, if you took an oath to the United States Constitution, and if you don't wear the American flag only, you have broken your allegiance, period. So here's where I'm at. It's time for DHS and DOJ to start having a closer look. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, all of these new incredible patriots and professionals who've come into the system. We've got a U.S. city where police officers are wearing flags tied to Hamas, while Hamas is still holding American citizens hostage. And that's not just an internal affairs issue, not just bad optics. Now we're blooming into a national security threat. Now we finally have a federal government that's serious about law and order. So to Kash Patel, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, it's time for them to start looking at this closer, launch an investigation immediately into the Paterson Police Department, as well as City Hall, because this isn't local anymore. This is foreign influence inside American law enforcement, and this is what counterintelligence is supposed to stop. And if you hold too long on this one and you brush this off and sweep it under the rug, this is going to cost lives, because the next lone wolf attacker, he's not going to come from overseas. He could come from inside one of these cities or not be stopped in one of these cities. And I've been around this business a long time. First it's the flags, then it's renaming the streets, then it's political normalization, and next it's violence. Because if you let this ideology in, that action always follows. Trust me. We've got hostages in Gaza, Americans right now. And meanwhile, a U.S. police department is allowing its officers to wear the flag of the group responsible for kidnapping them. And that's not a personal issue. That's a national security breach. You want to wear that uniform in this country? You wear the American flag. You want to wear Hamas colors? There's a plane leaving JFK every hour. Pick one. And to all my Cohen commandos out there, this is a warning. Keep your eye on this one. I'm going to come back to it. And do me a favor, if this episode hits you in the gut and makes sense, which it should, let me ask you a couple of quick questions. Do you think it's acceptable for a U.S. cop to wear a flag associated with terrorism? Do you think any American city should rename its streets after a foreign cause that celebrates October 7th? Do you think the FBI and the DOJ should sit this one out, or do you think it's time for them to start to investigate? Let me know if you guys agree with me. Is this a line here that's been crossed? Is there no room for Hamas branding in American law enforcement? And do you think if we don't start exposing this city now like Paterson, this could be just the beginning? Do me a favor, repost this episode, share it. Get it out there. Because if you don't stand up to this one right now, you're going to start seeing more of these flags start popping up in our American cities. And we're going to continue to see this country spiral down. I want to thank you guys for watching this one. I'm going to come back to it. Do me a favor, if you guys are a fan of the show, hit the link down in the description. Grab yourself a mini sponsorship package. Join my Season 1 sponsorship team. Helps keep the lights on in the studio. We're completely independently produced here and allows me to continue to combat that garbage, anti-Israel misinformation and propaganda that's out there while bringing you guys cutting-edge, no-nonsense analysis of counterterrorism, the Mideast and national security problems right here developing on our doorstep. Zero mainstream media garbage and swaying here, purely independent. Do me a favor, hit that link down in the description and grab yourself a sponsorship package and help support the mission. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to come back to this one. I'm Aaron Cohen. You're watching The Aaron Cohen Show, and I will catch you guys on the next one.